People think it's a lot easier than it really is. It's not as cut dry as we would like it to be. I would love for my daughter to do the same thing. I would love for my son, who is at around great kids right now, to find his wife. She'd be a great helpmeet. They move forward. And this is bringing me to the point where if we tell men the counterproductive, because I do believe in the Bible, I do believe that women are supposed to be a man's helpmeet. But if we don't do it the way it was designed to be, like for example, one of the things that you mentioned was you're more focused in a marriage, right? So you keep your head on straight. It gives a little less wiggle room to mess up when you're in a marriage. And so when we're telling people, okay, you go get your bag, these guys, because men can damage too. It just looks different. Maybe it's not body count, but you're damaged in the head mentally. Some things that you go through, you're damaged as well. And it can be very
Agreed.
damaging to your household later on in life. So what I'm saying is when we say, okay, wait until you get the bag and then you go back, to me, that's counterproductive, because if God says there's a help me and she can get you where you are, she can keep you focused. Let's say, okay, you don't want to have a family right now. You guys come in agreement with that, but she can sit there and she can keep you on the right path. Then to me, that's a successful pair. That's just my opinion. And it wouldn't be like, oh, let me get the bag and then this chick is going to come along, because then to me, she's not appreciative of all the hard work you've done to get to where you are. And when people don't appreciate what it took for you to get there, then it can be a little sloppy, a little, it can
Oh yeah,
get
yeah. I
where
understand that.
she'll take advantage of something.
Yeah,
You're making a good point.
especially as the wife. And I think that women, they don't think long term, but they're almost thinking long term when they meet this guy and they're expecting him to be making six figures because they want that instant reward, they want that instant gratification. But it's like, wait, but hang on, that takes a long time to build up. So I just think the biggest thing is how young people, how they have their intentions set. And even let's say if they want to have a fun time, or let's say they're freshmen in college and for right now don't want to have a boyfriend or whatever, which I would say is fine. Don't be screwing around. But whatever that period of time is, you need to have some outcomes in the back of your mind so you're not just making just reckless decisions. And it's interesting when I even talk to my young cousins, I'm like, they're like young 20s, and I'm like, hey, what do you, I didn't know you're not thinking about marriage just yet, but you do kind of need to be thinking about it, because you're going to end up at 26 like, oh shoot, is this a guy I want to marry? Okay, yes or no, check the box, like flow chart. And if he's not, then you need to figure that out, because guess what, you're gonna have to meet that guy, vet him, have a solid relationship if you want children. But it's like, you just got to think about those things. And even if, and she said to me, well, I'm not sure if I even want kids, and I'm like, you need to be thinking about that. I understand it, maybe not now, but there could be, there could come a time where you decide, you like my older sister, if you do want kids, then you got to hurry, and then everything's a mess from there, so I don't know.
I'm gonna ask this to the entire panel, but I'm gonna give you a scenario, and I really do want everyone's advice on this, and it's a personal one to me. I'm actually gonna say it's my daughter, right, who is 16, who is right now at prom, at her boyfriend's prom, if you want to call him boyfriend. It's 10:24. It ends at 11, and I have the
What you
tracker on my
doing here
phone.
with us? What you doing here with us? AP,
He's
I'm
trying
about
to
to send you
keep
some
his
binoculars, bro.
cool.
I'm about
So,
to send you
hey,
some binoculars, bro. Go ahead.
no, the scenario is we're coming back from one of her softball games, right? And we're talking about college, and she's decided that she doesn't really want to go to college, and we've come up with a plan for her to go to community college and live here. Uh, there's a nursing program there, and she wants to get into nursing. Her plan, their plan, excuse me, it's not just her plan; it's the plan they came up with. He's going to graduate with an engineering degree when she is 21. At 23, they're going to get married. At 24, she plans to have their first kid, and she's going to. I'm trying to groom her this way. I'm gonna tell y'all this shit is hard, but um, and she is going to do what he needs done for them. That is her plan. I didn't
miss
say
that
this
young.
to her.
No, I'm saying I miss that young love. Just naive. It's just so pure. You know this is gonna happen. Like in her mind, this is really gonna happen exactly the way that
And let me
You couldn't
say
tell me
this.
shit.
It could happen, but let me tell you what's gonna get in the way. I need to know what his mama's saying to him.
I'm about to get to
Boy
it.
mamas can get in their ear. You don't need to get married right now. You did it. That's gonna be. It's
I was
always
one of those mamas.
Okay,
But
so
AP, can I say quickly though? I think it's great though that she is thinking long term. So
Exactly.
I do want to say that though before you continue. That's because I was not planning like that when I
At
was her
all.
age. So anyway,
The part that I'm glad you said was you got. So this is the part where for with daughters especially, because I'm sorry, I'm Nigerian. People say you can't make kids do anything. That does not apply in our culture. You can make the Nigerian dads can make their son do a bunch of shit. So, but daughters, well, they can make their daughters too. But in this country, it becomes a little harder if you're raising them here. So, the one thing I will say for your daughter is, yes, make sure she secures something for herself first, because for some reason you got to look at the trends here. Women prioritize comfort way too much in America. So you better make sure everything she is finished. Don't really touch too much on the plan, because I feel like any kind of defiance, open outward defiance from dad is like a mission for them to do exactly what you don't like. So kind of be a ninja. That's what I've seen work. Kind of be a ninja with it, where you're guiding her along, not with just your expectations, but also helping her see why it's important for her and all it is. Like, go along with the plan. Don't tear it down. Don't do anything, even though you know it's probably delusional and that shit ain't gonna work out that way. Don't kill their dreams. It's like when you're trying to tell somebody a business plan and they telling you all the functional ways they know it's not gonna work. Let them dream. They can still have the business one day, even though we know it's not gonna work out exactly that way, right? They can still have it all. They just can't have it all at the same time. And so you don't want to tear their dreams down that way. So I would say make sure she does the things that will keep her, not only her economic capability intact, but make it feel like it's, if they do break up, it's only a loss in that way, right? Because I feel like women get in relationships and just, they willfully, again, drop everything. They want to blame it on the world after the fact.
Well,
So
when
she
you're
was
that
so
age, I mean, when you're that age, you don't know any better. You just
So
don't, because you're so
like 2
into
years into
that
nursing
guy.
school. Yeah, she'll
You're
get
just
pissed
so
off. She
into
don't
that
pass a test
guy.
and be like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. He gonna be making enough money in a few years.
Let
I'm
it
good.
continue.
so hold on.
Because
So
my first boyfriend, we were getting married. Like, I knew we were getting married. I wanted, at that time, I think I was like, I want a huge family. I want like 10 kids. Like, it was crazy. And in my mind, I mean, he was Hispanic too. So it was like, I knew we was going to have a large family. In my mind, I remember it, that this was truly going to happen. Like, this was really going to happen. And so when y'all say like, well, women, what you just said in terms of of us just like giving everything up and just focusing on that guy, it's because we believe that this is going to truly be our husband. And this is what we're
That's how they
supposed
always
to
give
do.
God.